Greetings, my dear beloved children. Today I will tell you about determining how clean your subtle bodies are: emotional, mental and causal. I think each of you, and especially those who have been engaged in energy practices for a long time, are well aware of the fact that even after the deepest cleaning of your subtle bodies, your illnesses that have been accumulating for years, and sometimes decades, cannot disappear instantly. The process of the developing of the disease and its healing is so complex and unpredictable that it is almost impossible to trace it at the physical level. And this is due to the fact that most people are not only out of their understanding how to control their thoughts and emotions, but do not even understand the effect of them on their lives. So, for example, a person who has come to a sudden insight and understanding of the deep processes of their life that led to an incurable disease can heal almost instantly. And a person who is quickly recovering as a result of the efforts of doctors and the working balances of their body can get an irreversible relapse as a result of a moral decline, destructive for their soul, and therefore for their body. But more often, everything happens gradually, since any changes are formed first in the etheric body of a person and only then descends to the physical plane. But what is the reverse mechanism of interaction of these bodies? What happens to the etheric body if, for example, a cancer tumor being excised for a person or some other surgical intervention occurring in their body, which now happens quite often with the development of medicine? Since the etheric body of a person is formed energy way due to their specific thoughts and emotions, the reverse process, its reflection of the physical body modified by medical intervention, also occurs not mechanic way, but energy one. If a person been fully aware of the psychosomatic cause of their illness and has done everything to get rid of this cause, then the efforts of doctors will not be wasted, and you will start the process of your healing. Your etheric body will be cleansed, getting rid of the phantom of the organ that used to be sick. But if a person has little to do with spiritual knowledge about the energy component of your life, then any medical intervention, no matter how successful it may be, will only help for a while, since his emotional and mental pattern fixed in the etheric body of a person will return everything back to square one again, manifesting itself at the physical level. And, probably, many of you have already noticed such an interconnection on the example of your relatives and friends, and, maybe, on your own example. Therefore, my dear ones, the body itself, that is, your physical body, will help you to trace the purity of your subtle bodies. Carefully listen to all the signals that it gives you, determine the psychosomatic causes of your illnesses, and, along with the practices and meditations that I give you, work through these causes. Get rid of everything that prevents you from being happy and healthy. Do not be discouraged if this does not work out right away. Belief in yourself and the purity of your soul are the main guarantee of your happiness, health and success. Always remember this, my dear ones. Loving you endlessly, Father Absolute spoke to you. Greetings, my dear beloved children. So, we will continue the conversation on making an interlayer between your physical and etheric bodies clean, transparent and highly vibrational. And today we will talk about the interaction of mental and etheric bodies, as well as the corresponding chakras, the fourth and the second ones. The influence of the mental body on the etheric one is enormous, since it is the thoughts that give rise to emotions, which often later develops into an ailment of your etheric and then physical body. Therefore, it will become the next body that you will now have to clean from mental weeds, thereby keeping your fourth chakra clean as well. This meditation is identical to the practice of emotional purification of the etheric body. The difference is only in wording. You will need to wholeheartedly ask your etheric body for forgiveness for the suffering that you willingly or unwillingly caused it with your negative thoughts, which in turn generated negative emotions resulting in your illness. My dear ones, having carried out this deep cleaning of your mental space, it is very important to ensure that from now on it remains just as clean, which will enable you to preserve the purity of your emotional, and therefore the etheric body. You, probably, have already guessed why, speaking of the human body, I often call it the divine vessel. Your body is really such a vessel filled with energy, and this energy is multi-layered, because it is distributed into 7 layers horizontally, and into 7 parts vertically. Your 7 bodies and 7 chakras corresponding to them. All of them are connected with each other by invisible energy channels through which energy can circulate both downwards and upwards depending on your state, and mostly, depending on your thoughts and emotions. Even being in a third dimension world, a person remains a divine creature, capable of creating their own reality by the power of thought. In the 5th dimension you will manage this easily and naturally, but now, while you still live in the third dimension world, you need to make a lot of efforts to keep your divine vessel clean. In this case, you have to deal not only with your own energies, but also with the variegated energies of your close ones and neighbors, friends and colleagues, and just random companions around you. This is what aerobatics is, a unique experience in overcoming seemingly insurmountable hardships, for which your wise, ancient, pure souls have now come to earth. But after all, the help that comes to you from heaven in this crucial for you in your earth time is also unique and enormous. You feel how the higher forces are guiding you by ensuring, helping in difficult times, showing unlimited patience to you and enveloping you with their love. Therefore, everything will work out for you, my dear ones. Anyone who has chosen the ascension and is moving to it, even if slow but sure, will find themselves in this new amazing space. All your efforts will be rewarded 100-fold, but now it's important not to stumble, but realize the target end, which is most important, to help your physical body, the most vulnerable of all, to overcome the vibration barrier. And you can achieve this only by clearing it and all your subtle bodies as much as possible from low vibration energies of the dual world. And let all the knowledge that higher forces of the universe and I bring you grow for each of you into practical actions, and not lie in the treasury of theoretical knowledge, which you have plenty of by now. I bless you and love you immensely. Father Absolute spoke to you. Greetings, my dear beloved children. Today we move on to consider the next human body, the causal one, and its influence on the etheric body. By and large, all these three bodies, emotional, mental and causal, need to be considered in conjunction with each other. We started from below with the emotional body only because, as a rule, it is the most polluted in a person, and since the physical body is in the center of your divine vessel, we started purifying the energy space from the inside, removing layer by layer the scum of human passions. The causal body is responsible for self-expression, the things that are formed in your mental and emotional bodies and then projected into the outside world. Why is the fifth chakra so often blocked in a person to the extent that they feel it physically? Just because they are strangled by emotions, unspokenness, resentment and fears of being misunderstood. Therefore, having cleared the emotional and mental bodies from negative energies, and thereby balancing the third and fourth chakras corresponding to them, your causal body will be cleaned automatically along with them, and your fifth chakra will naturally come into harmony. Thus, it will no longer have a negative impact on your etheric body, and the energy of love will circulate through all the energy channels connecting both the subtle bodies with the chakras and the chakras with each other, penetrating the etheric and then physical human body, healing all its ailments. And when this happens, you will have quite a solid bridge between the physical body and its divine aspects, the buddhic and etheric bodies. And this bridge will consist of the energy of light and love that by its vibrations will almost reach the vibrations of the sixth and seventh chakras that are the main sensory organs of the being of the fifth dimension. But what will happen to the three intermediate subtle bodies and chakras that were mentioned above? Merging through vibrations with the upper divine chakras, they will become the main assistants of a person in a vivid manifestation of their personality. After all, it is there in the space of the fifth dimension that all your talents and abilities will be fully demonstrated for the higher good of all. In places with no duality, any negative thoughts and emotions generated by it can no longer be manifested due to the fact that your ego will give way to the divine essence of human, manifested in all their actions. Now a man will not need to assert themselves and win their place in the sun. They will peacefully engage in creativity, enjoying it themselves and bringing joy to the surrounding ones by results of their labor. Believe me, my dear ones, by breaking out of the framework of the third dimension world, you will discover in yourself so many natural gifts that many of you did not even suspect of. Being bogged down in an everyday routine and struggle for survival, your divine vessel, polished up by the energy of love to the nines, will shine all through the universe. So get down to this fascinating and urgent work now, my dear ones, without waiting for better times. By this you will not only bring these times closer, but also show the people around you the miracle of the transformation of a person who has embarked on the course of development of ascension. I bless you and love you immensely. Father Absolute spoke to you.